think I may be going through what a lot of lower elo people go through, where they're playing a role, they're getting fairly frustrated on that role, so they just like jump onto something else. Uh,
Flip flopping.
yeah,
Okay.
I've been playing the game for like 6, 7 months, something like that. Um, Cumulatively. So I played the game for like 2 or 3 months, sometime during the pandemic. I just stopped playing, and then I started playing again this summer. Um, and I've been playing ADC for several months, like hundreds of games on ADC, and I had this like huge, I don't know, 7, 9 game loss streak where, you know, it's my teammates, bro. But seriously, uh, there were a lot of games where I'd be like at the 15-minute mark, and I'd be like even in lane or maybe slightly ahead in lane, and the game seems like unsalvageable. Where like a top laner is like 1-11 and a mid laner is 0-5, and I just didn't like feeling like, damn, as soon as I'm starting to actually come online, the game's kind of over. So uh, I swapped to jungle, because I felt like uh, at least I could make some plays on the map and not be stuck in the bot lane. Like I'm literally stuck there until tower plating goes down. Usually,
Right.
uh, supports can roam, junglers can make plays on the map, mid laners can roam, top laners can TP. But as an ADC, I'm just like stuck there until I scale and get my items. And sometimes by the time I'm like on my second item, it seems like I won't be able to do much. And that was just kind of a shitty feeling.
So that caused you to swap?
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
Uh,
hmm,
and so being fairly new to jungle, um, I thought, well, instead of it would be like me going into the gym and figuring out how to work out on my own for like the next year or two, not making any progress, whereas like a coach could have like set me on the right path in the first place. Um, so yeah, that's the reason why I'm getting coaching.
the right maneuver. Coach just one Chinese guy who plays a lot of chess, and that's what he says. He's like, "I pay you to save time." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
I mean that's really it, right? Because like I
Yeah?
can't imagine. Well, I was aware of the existence of this game since it's like since it came out, but I never played it. I had no idea what it was. Like I was like, yeah, nerds play that game. Uh, I knew it was really addicting because I had a roommate several years ago who one time I left for work and I saw him like sitting in our backyard playing League of Legends. And I was like, oh, I've heard of that game. It's like a very like, it's like an esport game. And I came back from work and he was sitting at the same spot playing League of Legends. So, um, yeah,
So you knew it was
I
that
can't.
type of game. Have you ever played,
Yeah, I
like,
knew it.
games like that, like a StarCraft, like a I don't know if they play CS:GO
No,
all day and whatnot?
never. I've so okay. First of all, I I might be a little older than your average client.
You'd
Um,
be surprised. Recently, I coached
oh,
a 40-year-old lady,
I'm
Mr.
older than that.
Okay, you're pushing it then. You don't sound like it,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
I'm
yeah,
I'm 42.
that's not too bad.
So like in my 20s and stuff. Okay, when when I was like 26, I think is when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out. It was like the first
The classic.
Modern War. Yeah, that's what like when COD like became good because before that it was like all World War II crap. It wasn't very interesting. And that's when that was on the PS2, I think, or PS3. I can't remember. PS3, I think.
COD
And
4?
that's when I started playing.
That was PS3.
Yeah, PS3,
Yeah.
2007. Uh, I that's when I like started playing video games like a little more seriously. Before it was like uh just playing Mortal Kombat on my Sega Genesis or whatever Mario games on the Nintendo 64 back in the 90s.
Yeah,
Um,
can I interrupt you real quick? Did you ever play
yeah, yeah,
like the like local multiplayer ones? Because I know the fighting games were popular like that. I'm not sure if there were any other ones though.
yeah. Nope.
Okay, because that
Yeah.
would have been
So,
some juice.
uh, uh, yeah, basically, like I just played Call of Duty on and off for like throughout my 20s and 30s. Whenever I had like free time from work to play, I would just hop online and play. Um, and then during the pandemic, when I had like literally nothing to do, I played Apex. I played Apex up to Diamond. Um, I played Valorant like up to Gold because I mean, shooting games. I was like, all right, the shooters, they're all kind of similar. But League was my first game that was like, you know, it was my first MOBA. I mean, I don't know of any
Right.
other MOBAs out there besides like Dota.
I had the
Uh,
exact same experience. I came from Call of Duty to League, and I had no fucking
Nice.
yeah, I had no fucking clue. I played on console too, on COD, and to PC. It's like
Okay.
I had no clue about the mouse and keyboard, no clue about
Hmm.
controlling the funny little guy in third person view, moving them with
Yes.
my click, much
Uh
less
huh.
casting the abilities, getting the sequencing of the abilities, why I'm doing anything, why I'm farming, all that shit.
Yep.
So
That
interesting.
was my thing too. I'm like, shit. You have to like right click. I remember my first couple days playing the game. My forearm and my wrist hurt from just right clicking all the time. Uh, but then when people say like even to this day, people like mechanics. I'm like, dude, these mechanics are not anywhere near as hard as like say playing Apex when you're like juggling your heals, bouncing off of walls, flying through the air. You have to have like this 360-degree like awareness of everything going on in front of you, behind you.
Map out the next moves too. Did
Yeah,
you play
and when
Black
you're
Ops 1?
aiming, yes.
Okay. I know exactly what you're saying. I haven't played Apex, but it's like, right. Red dot shows on the mini map. I like it just plays out in my head exactly how I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna um shoot the window, jump through the window, crouch so that I fit through the window, ADS,
Mhm.
like right where he would be, and then like
Yeah, and you
pre-fire.
still have to aim like granted like there's some aiming like I like playing Ezreal a lot
Yeah.
and landing skill shots is something, but I mean like no disrespect to the people who are insanely good
Well,
at
it's
League.
it's easy to do the like the initial thing, but then when people talk about mechanics, it's like the sequence, the reactions, and how like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you go
Hmm.
from there. So it's like every single thing going perfectly. And it's more like a StarCraft sort of thing where your micro builds up, so it's across time, not in the moment.
Yeah,
These things are
that's
easy, but then like harder to do.
right.
Not harder to do, okay. They're easy to do, but then it's hard to not ever mess it up ever. That's where it comes in with the
Yeah,
league.
or to do it at the right time.
Yeah?
Um, so so yeah, I'm like, I, I started playing League over the age of 40, or right around the time like I turned 40. Can't recall. And I played a ton of ADC. And I really like ADC, and ADC is probably my favorite role, but it was just getting really frustrating. So I was like, well, I kind of know how to play the jungle, I guess. Like my favorite champion in the jungle is Kindred because she or they them whatever that it is like an ADC, right? A marksman,
Right?
but probably not the best jungler to start off with
Hell
because of
no.
the mini game of getting your marks and hunting like enemies to get your marks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she has a mini
I-
game. She has her fucking mechanics, casting all these abilities at the right time, right place.
mhm,
Has
yeah,
to attack. Yeah, it's hard. And then there's no Ditto to Kindred either. Graves is like close, but not really.
yeah.
And then there's no marksman in the jungle. So, do you really want to swap to jungle? That's usually where I get with people like this. Like, I always
So
encourage like if you have more fun with the role in the champions that you play, then if you stick things out, things change, they morph. But
yeah,
what do you
I'm
think?
not exactly sure. I've heard a lot of people say, well, you haven't even been playing a year, and you should spend your first year like exploring other roles and seeing like what clicks for you, what you like, what you don't like. Um,
Well, I think it's a
so
paradox in that sense. You need to explore some to some degree, and then you need to completely limit it to what you do to an exact specific thing. once you've
Yeah.
done the exploring. So, have you done the exploring part yet?
Nope, all I've done is play ADC. That's it.
Okay. And then
Uh,
for someone to explore, I would recommend like you do that in normals. Like
oh,
the
okay.
ranked games are just the thing with playing ranked versus normals, like normals you get to make mistakes, the game is faster, and even if you make a mistake, you get to keep playing. Whereas in ranked you make one mistake and you slowly burn and it's not it's not the challenge that you're looking for whenever you're trying things out. It's
I see.
seeing like what the champion does and having fun with it, honestly. And then once you've
Yeah, that makes
played it
sense.
enough, then we can do ranked, but yeah. That's the mistake that a lot of people make in League, just only playing ranked, and it's just not the juice, which
Oh,
I
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've done that a billion times, so
my thinking was, oh, in normals, it's probably a bunch of people goofing off roll and stuff. Um, and so like that's
well,
kind of why I kept it to rank.
that's why, that's another thing with normals, it's just about you. There's the team don't matter no more. Like Call of
Oh,
Duty
okay.
Team Deathmatch versus Search and Destroy, you don't have to work as a team in Team Deathmatch. You
I
just
see.
yeah, you just walk around, go 23 and 3 and call it a day. And if you can't go
Seems like
23 and 3 under champion and you don't like it, we don't have to play it no more, you know? So,
yeah. So it looks like I'm looking at my OPGG. It looks like I've been playing jungle for the last 18 days. Uh, and I've played quite a lot actually.
okay. And is that
Like
just on Kindred?
no, no, no. I've played. Let me look at my champion thing. I've played 38 games on Nocturne. 30. Yeah, wait, 36 games on Nocturne. Wait, it should be 30. 36 games on Nocturne. 12 games on Shyvana.
Yuck.
Uh,
Shyvana is
yeah.
so boring.
Um,
A real modest league experience, just right clicking
yeah.
and moving.
It's just like I would play her AP, so I'm just like, okay, throw a fireball, throw another
Yeah,
fireball.
yeah. That
But
versus like
you,
the dream of playing Ezreal in a good match.
yeah, uh, yeah, I have like 180 or 90 games on Israel. Um, but yeah, uh, I mean, I guess I can share this link as well. I don't know. I have no desire right now to like queue up as ADC.
Hmm. Usually, the ADCs swap to support, and then also vice versa.
Yeah, support seems whack. If I played support, I would play like Senna or somebody who can like deal some damage and get kills.
Maybe Shyvana with Nashers isn't too bad. Oh, I'm thinking about it. But then again, you could play every other champ that builds Nashers, Diana, Echo, etc.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, this looks like it looks like that this could have just been like on in normals because it's like yeah, we played these, but there's not like it's not like building a foundation really. That's what it looks like. And you mentioned like that's kind of what you're coming to me for that jungle part.
hmm,
So but for some reason, I'm holding on to ADC for you, and I wonder if that's necessary. If you want to just do jungle or actually consider staying on AD. Because if you actually like this, I don't see a reason to swap. Because like the role's fine, and then the MMR rat, like we're almost past the shit zone. That's what I
yeah.
see.
It was, man, on ADC. I got chat banned like 5, 6 times in the last 5 months. It's just like I don't like most support players. Uh, like in my elo, support players will like not know what to do with the wave, will grief my waves. they'll like they'll try to engage when we have a fat stacked wave slow pushing into us. Uh, they take the worst roam timers. Like if my
Right,
wave is pushing,
that guy will do the wrong things. I always view it as
Mhm.
variance, and he'll do wrong things like at lower ranks most of the time.
Yeah, so I was telling my friend, I was like, maybe I'll play jungle up to a role where supports are finally decent and then switch back to ADC. And he's like, no, you don't want to do that. Like, he's like, if you're actually climbing on jungle, why would you want to swap away from jungle? And I was like,
Well, once you start playing the other role, you'll see how they're dependent on the other roles as well. There's some
yeah,
agency, sure,
definitely a lot more agency in like the first 15 minutes than ADC.
true, but then ADC has
Although,
the final say because
yeah,
all that what's required. Let me just notepad this shit. What's required of the ADC is you farm. If you're doing that well, then you
get
can
a buttload of gold, get
yeah, you have more
items.
gold, and then you deal more damage. And if you deal more damage, you probably win more fights. If you win more fights, then you get more objectives. And then from there, we just repeat. But as you go like past 26 minutes ish, if these steps were taken correctly, you never have to spend yourself for your allies either on ADC. You can be selfish. And so long that you're always alive, you can be farming. And the game state doesn't matter because the games will last longer and longer because we're at lower rank. And since that's the
Yeah.
case, you'll be able to scale past the enemy
Another thing that was a
if
little
it's
bit
done right.
frustrating as ADC, which is part of the reason why I spammed a lot of Sivir games, is it was like really frustrating to me if there's like no objectives up and waves were pushed into our side of the map and nobody was touching them. I'm like, okay, it's probably not my job as ADC to like macro and like go from lane to lane and fix waves, but
Nope.
if nobody else is going to do it, it's like, okay, I could go side lane and like die to an assassin trying to fix this wave, or we can just lose these like 2 or 3 waves to our waves or the tower. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I'm like complaining beyond my pay grade or my
Well, those
skill set.
things are out of your control, and this is like where you're new to League of Legends. Like this is part where you have to let that part. Well, at least you have an option. Some people always hold on to that part. Personally, I let that part go to some degree. It's
Mhm.
fine to have like that thread in your hand and notice it as it's moving through. But if you're trying to grasp onto these things, you will never get a grip and you'll only hurt yourself because it's always moving through, you know?
Okay.
Grasping a wire that's like being just yanked. So, what
Yeah, that makes sense.
instead you would have to, the best approach, in my opinion, would be to focus on the thing that's in your control, which is always going to be how how you play the game, how you farm, how you trade, and then the decisions you make.
Sure.
So then I come back to this. Do we want to do that on ADC or on jungle? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm like kind of enjoying playing jungle right now.
Okay. How about we just look at a jungle game here? What do you think?
Sure.
To do, me log in real quick. Do you have a like replay link, or should I just load the replay in the client?
Yes, all the games you see from today, except for my first win on Nocturne, I recorded all of those
Okay.
from my POV.
Okay.
So wait, I don't think the 010. I definitely didn't do that one because that was also why do you lose LP if you FF when somebody DCs?
You got me. I can't even make a joke on that one. It's just stupid. How long was it? 3 minutes? Maybe because it was past 3 minutes. I know that's like a
Oh,
certain threshold. Ooh. Alrighty, which game are we thinking here?
uh, I guess the well that Diana game I just spent literally the entire game farming. Maybe the Nocturne game right under that?
Okay. That's a bunch of AP, fellas, versus Shyvana, the real champion.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes this game. I feel like in the mid to late game, if we're losing, I start getting desperate to like make 50-50 plays.
Okay. Mid game, what are your plays on Nocturne?
Look for ults when my when my ult is up.
Right? And what's an ideal ult look like?
Somebody who's pushed past the river, 50% HP. Maybe they're like trying to crash a wave. They've used it like in an ideal world, their important cooldowns are well, their important abilities are on cooldown. They have no sums and they're half health.
Okay. And where's that most likely to be in the mid game?
Uh, hmm.
Past the
Okay,
river,
so one
50%
of my
HP. Yeah.
yeah, my friend said I had a friend that says in the top lane if they have swords, that's probably where it's going to be. So if it's like a Yone or Riven, Fiora,
Hmm.
Camille, he's like if they're holding a sword, that's when you know. In the bot lane,
Well,
I
the
guess it
bot
depends on.
laners, yeah, the bot laners go mid, come mid game.
Oh, right. Yeah, I would say mid lane.
What?
Mid.
If you look for Nocturnal mid game in mid lane, there'll be
Mhm.
multiple people.
Oh yeah, they
Do you
can
wanna fight that
rotate
versus like if you ult in the side
a
lane,
side lane pick. Yeah,
bam,
I think.
you have a 1v2 immediately.
Mhm.
Right. So mid game, it's mostly about your side lane picks. And then late game. So mid game you can think of it like this. You have one side lane pick, and then you have one ulti for side lane, and then you have one ulti for team fight. And then want to like
Okay.
use that in the right timings. And then late game, it's all about you getting onto the carry as your team plays out a team fight. But mid
Right.
game, when you're desperate, it's only going to come from the side lanes. If you're ever,
Gotcha. That's kind of good to keep in mind.
yeah, if you're ever in this vicinity, you're wasting your fucking time.
Okay. As Nocturne or as any jungler?
Well, as Nocturne, because he's an assassin, has a single target ulti. It'd be pretty
Okay.
similar with other assassins, like say Kha'Zix, for example. Way easier to take a fight in the
Yeah,
side
so that's
lane.
that's one of my biggest struggles right now with Nocturne is I'm playing him because everyone says like he's an easy jungler for beginners. But like having played ADC, um, I'm kind of unfamiliar-ish with how assassins want to play.
Okay. And are you? How do you feel like piloting a melee champ too?
Mm, it feels different. It feels different to not like have to space and kite like the way like Ash would, for example.
Yeah. And instead they
Um,
move in. I feel like
yeah,
that would be a huge mix-up for me if I was a beginner. I always played similar style champions.
I see.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Kindred, but again, they made Kindred much more complicated with um, having to get marks.
Having to get marks or abilities or cooldowns or build path. If she makes a mistake, she instantly loses.
Yeah.
Ah! Needed a spell shield. This is a fucking close one, though. Alrighty, double full clear. Or third full clear. Turn 3. We have pickaxe. And it's time for gank.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't have gone here, but I was like,
Q?
there's low health. It looks kind of free.
Yeah. And then he flashes. He hits you with his E. And what does that do?
Uh, Makes little fireworks.
Right? And then it gives you this passive where you're ablaze. So then
Oh, I
whenever,
see.
yeah, whenever Brand hits you with his Q or W, like, do you know what
While
these
you're
do?
ablaze. The Q will stun you, right? The W, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, when you're ablaze, the Q stuns you, and then the W deals bonus damage.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. 137, so it's like 40 extra damage. It's not too bad. And then you flash, and you gotta be spamming that W if that's the case. We're already ablaze.
Oh, okay.
Right. No harm in, like, doing a bad W at the start when you're getting used to Nocturne. The only harm is gonna be this, where we have the spell shield up.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the Unranked to Diamond I did on
Yes, I did. That's how I found you and contacted you for coaching.
I see, I see. Like, Whenever I try to vocalize the abilities, every single fucking time I go in, it's like
You
QWE
know,
auto. Like
I re- I remember thinking to myself, does he do this when he's playing alone?
sometimes,
Okay. So I'm used
sometimes,
to like going into fights as Sivir and starting off with my spell shield because once you have Navori, it comes back up so quickly anyway.
yeah.
I'm just like, I still need to get it in my brain that Nocturne does that as well. I think Shyvana kills me here.
Well, yeah, that's his key ability too. Like that's where Nocturne's a beginner
It's like
champ.
more attack speed.
Well, whenever you get comfortable on Nocturne, your Q doesn't have to be thought of anymore. It happens for you. So then you can think about the W. Like that's all that's in my mind like near the end of the Nocturne playthrough.
Got it.
Things like that. So that's where the experience really compounds for any of the beginner champs. And then shit like being able to see the mini map more, react to fights better. That's where like the beginner champs plus experience really takes over. Where
Gotcha.
you said like going to the gym, it's like that's where you consistently did it for 4 months and then bang, like you have that muscle. It's not fucking going away.
Hmm.
Alrighty, a little bit of dying bot lane, but we didn't spell shield. But since we full clear there, it's fine. Nice, then we're level 6. Ulti onto Hui, the worst champion in the game. Oh, you didn't use E. Check it out.
I
Oh,
thought I did.
you didn't
Did I
roll the
accidentally
whole
hit a?
keyboard.
Did I hit a minion with E or something?
No, you didn't cast it. I've
Oh,
done
I just
this.
didn't cast it.
Yeah, I've done this a couple times. The Q's buffered, he flashes, so then we miss out on the Q damage. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's no E. Auto, oh, and then you need to do a little moving right here. Like, bang.
Okay.
Oh!
How much HP is he right there? So sad.
And then E
32.
would be channeling. It's fine that we didn't cast E. It's a bad habit, but it didn't change this fight. So, we got the ulti, we're in the river, and then here's what we would see. Shyvana had used her ulti. Now, you don't have to ult Hui. Do you see that
I,
in-game?
uh, no, all I see is, oh, low health target, press R.
Okay. I see all your camps are up and Hui's low, so you have an option. Option A, option B, option C, and even option D. Shyvana showed Exodine, but she used her dragon form. So if you let that bad boy expire and then maybe ult her, I don't know, on vision here, or even start the Rift Herald and then ult her as she approaches, you could have a fight that way.
Okay.
Right. So what do you think about these? Like back to farming, Rift Herald, pull Shyvana, or option C, attack the
Hmm.
Hui.
Can I see mid lane again?
Yeah, sec. Clean up this shit. Bang. And you
Hmm.
know that he has flash because you were paying attention in game, and I would
I
never
figure,
ever.
I figure if I kill this guy, I mean, that's also a fat wave Oriana's recalling.
Yeah,
Uh,
here's what Ori looks like. No
yeah.
TP.
I figured like, I don't know if I was thinking I would take this wave too after killing him. Uh, because I remember Shyvana being bought, so I was like, okay, I could take her top camps. And on my way back down to clearing my camps, I saw this guy is low health, but I don't remember what else I was thinking other than thinking he's low health and
Well, I doubt you were
like,
thinking much to just see him and then ult.
yeah, I think that was it. Uh, the Rift Herald, I was a little worried about starting. Um, did I know where Jax was at this point? I can't
No.
remember. I can't recall. Mm,
And then Malphite's pretty fucking useless top with no mana.
yeah.
No
Uh,
TP, L.
Rift Herald, I was a little worried about. Um,
Yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
good.
so I mean,
No Rift Herald, Jax could interrupt.
I
Shyvana
guess
could interrupt.
yeah. If Shyvana and Jax collapse on me, then I'm dead again. I guess going back to my camps, but yeah, Hui looked so free.
Okay. So you can also like mm, you can do this in a way where you don't have to fully commit. So how would that be?
I would walk up. I would like walk up and hide in the bush.
Okay.
First of all, see if the bush is warded.
This push
Or
or this one?
that one right there.
This?
I guess maybe I don't have to go that close. So the way it play, I mean, the way it's going to play out is he's going to want to shove in this wave so that he can recall because Oriana's low in recalling. So maybe I could have waited another 4 seconds for him to push the wave into the tower. And if he's that far into the tower, even if he flashes, like I don't think he's getting out. I mean, he didn't get out
Do you
whole.
think he's gonna move forward after he pushes the wave or leave?
Mm, can I see the tower?
Yeah.
He's probably not going to go for. I mean, if he's smart, he's not going to go for a tower play.
Right. Super unlikely.
Yeah. So I think as soon as he kills these last two minions, he might just walk away and recall.
Right. So if you're gonna ult him, then this would be the most distance you would have. Like
Got
him
it.
moving back to turret. So then that can be fine. We go in with the ulti. Now, do you
Yeah,
have to keep
he's
committing
start.
here?
Uh, Probably not, unless I really wanted a kill, which I did.
Right. And then what are we giving
Because
up if we die?
our camps.
Exactly. We give up this camp and then the rotation of getting back to the next camps. Because it's always you're one clear, but then the second clear is where you really get ramped up.
Hmm.
So, you're going to risk that. Wei used flash. So we got the summoner spell. That's good. Your ulti will be
Hmm.
up in 2 minutes. His flash won't be up for
For
four
5 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
He has Cosmic. He's trolling. Anyway. And
Oh,
then,
I think Cosmic comes in the if you use the rune page on Hui and select the first strike option. Oh, he got the arcane comet. Never mind.
that's what always blows my mind about like lower ranked players. I would always just look up someone else's build or some shit, you know? Like I
Yeah.
knew with this fucking game coming from COD, I was like, well, in Call of Duty, you had the loadouts. So it's like,
Yeah.
you would copy those, play them, and figure out how it works, and then you could figure shit out, you know?
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's what I always did, like with League, with the old room pages, same shit. Like, people that play games like this and just do it on their own weird me out. Like, as a beginner, like, they fucking freak me out. If they're not
Yeah.
neurally divergent, the odds of them being, like, doing it right is so astronomically low.
Biscuit. I don't know why he would use
Uh,
biscuits against Oriana.
yeah, he doesn't know either. So he flashes away. Can you
Hmm.
match that flash?
No, because I don't have flash.
That's right, we used our flash. So we're going. It's fine. It's fine. Stop. You don't have to chase him. He doesn't have to die. And if you
Okay.
don't, can they kill you?
Uh.
From full HP.
Oh, from full HP, no. Well, maybe. So if I don't kill Wei stands behind his tower, and then he QWs me, and that does a shitload of damage. And the range of that thing is that long.
Yeah,
It's like,
he's on cooldown though. He shoved the wave.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, he can QW. See,
Can
his
he?
Q is up. Yep.
And then that resets the W?
No. So W and E being on cooldown doesn't mean anything if he uses his Q first. So you can if W and E are on cooldown, you can still QW or QE.
Okay, so is that the one where he sucks towards the thing?
No, that's EE.
Okay. So is it
So
the
Q
fear?
no QW is the big round. It's like a
The circle? The long range
yes.
one?
It's
Okay.
super super long range.
Shivana E, you're moving, and then the circle one. That slows, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think we'd be fine.
Yeah, I think I'd get out of there with like if they hit everything, which is a big if I guess, then I get out there with like a quarter of my HP probably.
Yeah, you got 1100 big ones right here. And
Yeah.
then if you survive, so in game, you can choose to not fully commit, and then if you survive, then you're still on the map.
Hmm.
And then then you have options. You'll find in League that getting in a position where you have options is like the whole juice, and then playing from
Okay.
there. Playing with forced hands and forced moves isn't like how it has to operate. It's not. It's really not interesting either because it's like performing rather than playing.
That makes sense.
Yep. But then you move past that point, and now here we go.
I think I just died to her auto attacks.
And we're back at it. These camps have to die. Shyvana gets her dragon for us dying. Nice, use the W on Rift Herald. Ah, come on. I mean, this will show you to do Rift Herald. Listen, the camps are up. Shyvana kills our
Yeah.
mid and just walks on in.
When
They
I
don't even
saw
have
that, I
it
was like,
warded.
when I saw that, I was like, can I get this fast enough? Because she just got dragon, right?
Yep.
So I wanted to trade this for dragon, but then I didn't have my smite up, which was the big thing.
Yep. Yep, no smite. That'll do it.
I used it right there, like a dummy.
Yep,
Just
unless we're
mindlessly
being
smited.
contested, then you don't have to use the smite. Contested or like a genuine reason to speed it up. Alrighty, so we lose this because we used the smite incorrectly. So funny to see too, like this sort of pathing, like Raptors Golem's red instead of the, just Raptors red Golem.
Oh yeah, normally I would, but I was like, I don't want my like I hate waiting for the Krug sometimes.
Yep. Whoa! Okay, this invade is
She
fucking crazy, to be fair.
she walked right past me. I saw her too. Well, I don't know if she saw me. I saw her because I put a ward there.
Yeah, okay, the Gromp is fine. We're doing Gromp. Now, the Wolf's too much. Like, the
Okay.
timing, like, they're always gonna show up. Your
Yeah, I didn't
proximity's bad.
know.
You have no
I didn't know
escape.
how fast she would get back because I saw her topside is the only reason I went this way. And I would have gotten here faster, but there were two wards in the dragon pit, so I didn't want to blast cone into the dragon pit to cross through.
That's fine. So we get here a little slower, and we get the one camp, but Shyvana clears fast. And,
Yeah, and she W's to get move speed quickly as well.
yeah, clear fast, back onto the map fast, and has nothing to do topside. So she's guaranteed coming back. So what do you want to do instead? Since wolves are off limits.
If wolves are off limits, I could look at Sivir and Brand here and see if they're killable.
They're going ham, that's for sure.
Yeah, my ulti is coming up in a couple seconds.
So you want to... Let me just press play. Do we want to ult these guys? Level 8, damn. Level 7,
Probably not.
damn. Oh,
Yeah, because if
she
so,
took two turret shots.
when I saw her took another turret shot, I was like, maybe I should go down there.
Oh, shit. And then Mr. Hui. I can't believe we get the wolves.
Yeah.
Yep, and then we're in an awkward spot where we're only level 8. Fuck. That Sivir's a shutdown, too. Doesn't even matter if this area is warded.
Yeah.
Return's pretty beast.
That was another thing too, is I remember that area being warded because I had to like go around to go to the bot side camps. So here I'm kind of like, all right, well, I've died 3 times.
Damn, it gets the fear off. Auto. Auto. Q. Where do you think Shyvana's going?
To her top side, since she probably realizes her bot camps are down.
Right? Do you want to fight her?
Mm,
You can test for these raptors?
can I see her health again? Was her health so low that like she might have thought to recall?
Look at that.
No.
250?
Yeah, she can heal off her camps and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually.
That's what I'm seeing. A little bit of... Let me get the fog of war here. Hello. Fight her for the raptors, you can't lose, basically.
Yeah.
And then she'd be wasting her time. If she opts in, she dies.
I don't know why I didn't think to do that this game. The other game where I played Diana versus Rammus, that's all I was thinking about was killing him at his camps when I was ahead of him.
Damn, she would have gone
Oh,
blue side.
she went to the wrong side, knowing that she like already checked. Well, I guess she's gonna get her.
That would have been fine too. We still have the neutral positive here. We get the Raptors, we get the red,
Yeah,
we get
that's
the
true.
golems.
I don't know what I did here. I guess I take these.
What? You gotta watch it with these invades, okay? Camps are done. Why do you go into her jungle instead of into the Raptors?
Because I saw her on bot side.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Like,
So seeing them is the first step. Go back to where we actually see them. Seeing
and then
them's the
having
first
Cryo
step.
engage recent lanes is the second step, probably.
Well, they need to like be committed to something. So she doesn't stay bot, she leaves. So she left, and then she's reset. And then you're not really pathing into like a play after the camps with your ulti. Well, our ulti's not coming up, I guess it doesn't matter. But she's not committed to the play, right? She doesn't stay bot, they're not fighting, nothing's going on. So then she can reset and be here. So the Raptors is fine. But just like the Wolves, yeah, this is too much then. But you never know if you don't go.
That's what
Okay,
Ash
we're...
gets for taking Arcane Comment instead of Lethal Tempo.
Let him do him. Alrighty, we're in there. Whoa! That's an Orianna ulti right there. Oh, if we smite, then maybe we get our spell shield. Because her spell shield blocks the Q. And then even though she's feared, we got no allies. Any fucking allies right here.
Yeah.
So I think we just
So,
ulti a bit too soon. So they're
I think
attacking our allies. They're not committed to anything. If you let these guys do their thing for a little bit, fight happens like right here, and you get more distance. And they would have taken more damage.
gotcha.
Because these sort of ultis will put you in these positions where I feel like we're always in a fucking 1v3.
Yeah, that's been happening with me a lot as Nocturne. I just realized Orianna has Conqueror.
Everyone's going fucking ham, huh? Missing the
Yep.
ulti, Conqueror, Arcane Comment.
It's fun times.
You silly guys, we're doing the silly stuff. Fuck. Oh, okay. Mark Treads went fucking ballistic right there.
Yeah. I think eventually at some point in this game I get a Maw as well. But that's not it. I think like at that point it was already not enough.
Okay, after the red buff, they just pushed mid. What are you thinking? What's your next step?
This is where I have like a little bit of difficulty sometimes. Is so obviously I see Sivir there. I assume they're going to go take the Rift Herald. We can't contest it. I see Ash pushing bot. I think I go help her with pushing bot to get bot tower.
Why?
Mm, I don't know. Trade one objective for another, even though bot tower is not like a game-winning objective. But we can't. It doesn't seem like I can do much else here. I guess take if they are going to go to Herald. I mean, taking Shyvana's bot camps, it doesn't really matter. She's so fed, it doesn't matter if she loses them. Uh, I don't know if we push mid wave fast enough to take the mid tower. And the
Nope.
mid tower, I believe, is fully healthy here.
Yep.
If I have enough gold on me, maybe I should just recall and buy an item. I don't know.
I agree with the first thing. Push bot. Take that fucking
Yeah,
turret. If you
I think
fight,
that's what I did.
yeah, if you fight mid, you're gonna be outnumbered because Ash is bot.
Hmm.
Can't push mid. Taking the camps is fine too, and then can't fight this. So yeah, let's push bot. Nice. show that guy. This part of mid game too is fucked up for Nocturne. When you find the control mage in a side lane,
Oh yeah.
the Lux player thinks they're hot and they die like 4 times.
Hmm. It's also satisfying to be the one killing ADCs now instead of me as an ADC dying to like a random Nocturne or some Zed hiding in a bush.
Right? Do you think it's egregious how easy it is for Nocturne too?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like once the great thing about him is I feel like even if I'm losing a fight, as soon as the fear kicks in, that's like so many free auto attacks.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's gonna be common for most of these melee champs. You'll find out is like spending your HP initially, and if you don't die, you stay on top of them. Then it
Hmm.
turns into your favor. Just one day
Yeah.
you're committed in.
The great.
Okay. What are you trying to do here?
Kill Sivir.
Why?
Her shutdown gold.
Okay. And then, do you have a good chance here?
Mm,
Running right into
yeah,
her.
I figured like when my Q comes up, if I can hit her with it and it'll give me like the move speed to catch up to her. Uh, but I remember thinking too, like, can I catch her when her R is active? I don't know.
Right, so let's
And
see.
she has an extra move speed from Phantom Dancer too. I didn't even like see that.
So we land the Q. Flash. E gets spell shielded, so that kind of stinks. And auto,
Yeah.
auto, 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 auto. Yeah, we got fucking collapsed on, but even without that, Sivir's at
Half
like
HP.
half HP. She has her heal and whatnot. She also has her movement speed from her ulti, and then her passive is Sivir's attacks and abilities grant her a
Extra
burst.
move speed.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the 7% move speed, I think, from Phantom Dancer as well.
Oh yeah. She is fucking juiced with just movement speed.
Yeah.
Okay. So that doesn't work out, but you never know if you don't go. The only tips I would give you is like, instead of this, like if it's not a flank, you probably don't have a chance.
Okay.
You're even in levels with an ADC, like that's bad. And then she has all this fucking movement speed. So if it was a more
Yeah.
basic ADC like Ashe or something, maybe.
I should have just realized it as soon as she threw the blue trinket into that bush.
I think the game's over from here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we hold out for quite some time, like
Oh god.
for a long time.
Should have been a forfeit of 20 here. Christ.
Yeah.
The score is like, look, we go from like 19 minutes. Ash gets 100 CS in the span of like 15 minutes. Let's go.
Unreal.
Bang. Like 60 CS in Oriana. Hell yeah. And then like 4 extra deaths on that Zera.
There's that meme I saw a couple weeks ago where it's like your average silver player, and I forgot who was in the meme, but it was like, I have farmed 70 CS. That is enough.
Pretty much. Whenever I went to Korea, the first match I played, I had a gold Lucian as my ADC, and I was playing support. And this guy got like 300 CS in a 28-minute match, and I was like, holy fuck. Like, it
Yeah.
was so easy to play from there. And every time you CC someone, they flash in.
How do you even get that much farm? I remember. How do you pronounce his name? Doinb.
Going B.
Doinb when he like did that 400 CS by stealing his jungler's camps. 400
Going
CS
B.
every 4
Going B.
minutes.
400 CS Rise hack.
Yeah.
Let me think with the
Uh,
early game. We had those deaths, but that was with the overcommitment thing. So I think one of the
yeah.
things you can try out is that.
One thing, si- since you've mentioned it, I do like feel it in the game too when I'm doing it. It's like I feel like I'm hitting the point of no return, and I'm just like, well, I'm committed now, so I should just keep going, even though I know I'm gonna die. Uh, Maybe I just shouldn't do that.
Well, I think you have to have control whenever you're like more uncomfortable on a champion, less experienced, then it happens to you.
Hmm.
And then the more you play it, the more you can have control over that. So where you're just starting on Nocturne, like that's where you're at. It's fine. Jesus Christ, the champions that really have to commit, like Belveth and champs like that, I had to play like hundreds of games before I could stop myself from fucking just going in and going ham,
Oh,
playing
I
it
see.
just barely neutral. You don't have to commit, and then when enemy is on opposite side, like the taking the one camp and then leaving, what do you think I could write that would like jog your memory on that?
I mean, I'll remember that.
Okay,
Just it's like one cap and go. Unless I see them, if like I see them still fighting, I feel like I should just take the entire quadrant, shouldn't I?
probably.
Yeah.
But just those glances and then overstaying for the double camp is that's where that went wrong.
Yeah.
Other than that, the pathing was fine. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I mean normally in the early game for Nocturne, I am just like power farming to hit level 6. Uh oh, something I was thinking about in during my Diana game. I played like Diana for the very first time ever. And at one point the Ash typed, oh, like, if he finally came down bot and has just been farming this whole time. Uh and I'm like, whatever.
Every Diana game I've ever fucking played. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, me farming the whole time also included getting 2 dragons and a Rift Herald, but thanks. Uh, you mentioned in a video, I can't remember what video, where it's like, you're farming, but you don't know why you're farming. And I was thinking, okay, you farm to get items, so you get items to get strong. You get strong so you can win fights and take objectives. But like I know when I'm strong as Israel, for example. Like if it's like on Trinity Force and a completed Mirror Mana, like he's does damage. But for
Wait, can I interrupt you real quick?
yeah,
Okay. So they're do the inverse too. Like am when thinking about games, if you do this sort of shit, it's really 1v9. So you farm to get strong, but then
mhm.
that strength means that you can't be attacked. If the enemy attacks, they fucking lose. So you have the ability to punish the enemy. If you're weak, you can't punish them for anything they do past certain points.
Right. Hmm.
Right. So it's your own defense as well. So then just because
So
we're strong doesn't mean that we can take everything, but it means if the enemy missteps, then we have the ability to kill them.
okay, maybe that's how I've been like mistaken up until now is like if I'm strong, well, I mean, obviously at some point if I'm like 100 CS up on the enemy jungler, I'm just gonna like keep going back into his jungle over and over and over again, and
Right.
taking everything.
And if he was to do that to you, he dies instantly. If he was to
Yeah.
gank a lane, you take more faster. You can counter
So
better.
say in the early game, I'm like, you know, I have like a component advantage or something, or maybe I have like a completed item or an item and a component, and they're like almost done with their first item. So I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe I only have like a 500 to 1,000 gold lead at I don't know 12 to 15 minutes or something.
Right, which is like a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, a pickaxe. So actually with a pickaxe, I'll do a lot of shit. If I'm Nocturne and I do my full clear, I get a scuttle, I base for a pickaxe, and I see the jungler still roaming around with only their jungle pet. Uh, like I will be a little more aggressive because I'm like, okay, I have lethal tempo and a pickaxe. I'll probably win a fight. But almost in any other circumstance, like what does that afford you versus what what does it not?
I'm not sure what you're asking. If you have a component item or a component
Oh, okay,
advantage in the
let's
mid
say
game, or just what?
let's
Or in the
say
early game when they're on
in,
no
in the
items.
in the early to like mid game. So like okay, say it's like 15 minutes and I have a stride breaker and I don't know, I had 1 or 2 kills, and so I have a Warhammer is what the Caulfield's hammer.
Yeah.
Um, and they're sitting on, like, say it's a Diana sitting on a recurve bow, blasting wand, and a fiendish codex, so they haven't, like, finished their Nashor's Tooth yet.
Mhm.
Um, does that mean I can just, like, go in and look for fights against them, or
It means when a
is
fight
that just
starts that you have better chance. You'll have more stats
okay?
behind you. And then the next question, who's higher level? Who has ults up? Who has sums? Where's the fight being started? Are you forcing the fight?
Yeah,
If you're diving Diana under turret, you don't have that sort of juice. If she's full HP.
yeah.
But if she's in the
I can't
river
remember
alone,
who
support's not
I
coming, she's dead.
yeah, that makes sense. I fought somebody recently in the river that I was up a level on and up some items on, but I still lost. I don't remember
Be a fucking top
when.
laner, like a Darius. Some champs are fucking lame. Some
Oh,
champs are
that would yeah, that would make sense. That I would be like, okay, well, I would lose even if I was like 2 levels up. I feel like sometimes against Aatrox. Uh,
Man, I inted into Aatrox the other day on fucking Lilia. I was juiced, I had this
oh,
full clear setup, and he has a serrated Dirk and fucking kills me, and I'm like, man.
that was another thing that pissed me off about playing ADC is like I'd be in, say I'm like an Ash or a Caitlyn or something. I come in a lane, I have a Storm Razor, my boots, maybe even like I don't know, another BF sword or something.
And Tom Kench has a Bramble Vest. You
Yeah, or
lose.
like Luxor Zareth has a Lost Chapter and then chunks 3/4 of my health with like one spell rotation, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is like really stupid. On like no, they shouldn't be able to do that with just a Lost Chapter, but Uh, yeah,
I'm on the
that's
Nirvana stay. If that's how it is, I won't be hit. And then
yeah,
on the Stoic sense, if I get hit, it's my fault.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like at the state of like jungle, initially I used to think like, okay, uh, what is my role as a jungler? Because like it's not my job necessarily to help laners, especially like if they're losing lane really badly. But then I'd have this kind of like internal conflict where, well, this is what you hated when you were playing ADC. Now maybe you can stop the bleeding. Is stopping the bleeding what you want to do? Because here's the thing I
Like
hear
in
all the
game?
time.
Are you talking about like compensating when the allies suck? Or is something else?
Yes, so like stopping the bleeding as in like if our if one of my laners is straight up inting, like for example, uh, one of these games Tristana was like 0 and 6-7. One of the more recent games I just played. Um, people are like, yeah, don't save a losing lane. Like, go, help your strong laner get stronger. And I'm like, okay, that makes
Right, you
perfect
can try
sense.
to help them get stronger. If
Hmm.
you try to stop the losing lane from losing, it's that rope in our hand analogy again. Like you want to get a feel for where things are going, but you don't want to grasp onto it, or else your fingers are going to get all fucking torn up, you know?
Yeah.
So what should you do?
Uh, man, I feel I hate saying shit like, oh, I'd have to like, think of it on a case by case basis. But I mean, it's. I'll tell you one thing I do hate is getting somebody ahead and then they do nothing with their lead. Um, Like, they're never helping the team. They're just kind of, like, doing their own thing, and then I think to myself, "Hmm, I should have, like, not wasted, like, any of my time or resources helping this person get ahead, because
Yeah,
now it's just."
but you can't see into the future.
Yeah, right.
So that
Uh,
that does suck though, I get that. Give give your teams
and
the
some
keys to victory and they shove it up their ass instead of opening the
right,
door right in front of them.
and I don't
But back
remember
back to the thing where you're saying like if allies losing, it's like
mhm.
you state the two options and then do you see the middle though? I don't think you see the middle.
No, I'm struggling to see the middle right now.
So like too far defensive is like I'll try to save Tristana. Fuck that. And then too offensive, I have to push the lead. Fuck that. What's the middle?
Uh, hmm. play
You have a
cautious and aggressive.
responsibility in your role. What's ADC's responsibility? Because you're used to that one.
Yeah, deal damage in fights, deal damage
If
to
before
objectives.
that, before that.
Oh, farm, get gold,
Why?
because you deal no damage without any gold.
Right, and the role's useless if they don't deal damage. Now,
Right.
jungle has to have both. They need a little bit of gold and they need a little bit of XP. With most of these champs, especially the beginner champs, you're going to be a mix of taking damage and dealing damage.
Okay.
Okay, so what's your responsibility to be in that position mid and late game where you're
Mid and late
competent?
game.
What do you have to do?
Uh, if you have to deal damage and take damage,
You're going to need levels
yeah.
because
Mhm.
levels give you HP, armor, AD, points in your abilities, and then
Which
different power
means
spikes.
you need to keep up your farm for sure.
Right. And you don't need kills. That's the fun part. That's where jungle's
Oh
fucking
yeah.
awesome in the mid game.
I think
If team
in this
losing,
Diana game, mhm.
go ahead.
In this Diana game, these 4 kills I had almost felt incidental.
Yeah, that's how it'll be. I swear you'll just walk into him.
Yeah, uh, because again, Jinx complained that all I was doing all game was farming, which maybe I kinda was, but then again, I did get the dragons and the heralds because at 8.2 CS per minute that game, um, and I felt like those kills I either, like, walked into or they just happened to be nearby. Uh, but your question of what's your role in the mid to late game, that's also something I'm like, "Okay, does that also depend on the type of jungler I'm playing? Because like, if I'm Rammus."
Right, that's where it does. So playing similar champs becomes pretty important. So like if you played Nocturne, Diana, Kane, for example, they'd be doing pretty similar things. Get
Okay,
onto a carry and well, you can sometimes start a fight, but it's better to punish the enemy when they've made a mistake and then join at the second part of the fight. Fight's
sure,
initiated, you go in, cooldowns are spent, attacking, attacking. Who wins? Did you get onto a carry? You probably won. And you can
got
probably
it.
kill more and deal damage. And as you're dealing damage, you're taking damage so that your allies can deal damage. And then it's all good. So,
Jarvan is not that type of, champ, right?
no, he starts the fight. Jarvan would be like
Okay,
more like Lee Sin. Lee
gotcha.
Sin, Sejuani, champs like that.
Okay,
Whereas the assassins usually come in at the second part of the fight or one shot someone when they
when
royally fuck
they're out
up.
of position.
But right, mid game, you need to farm your camps so that you get the gold and the XP, so that you have the durability as well as like the potential to like participate in the fight. Because even if you got a billion kills, you still need the XP. Sometimes the XP comes with the
True.
kills, but like you could have that would only ramp your damage, but then you need that second part to be like Mm, damn, if you have you played Hearthstone?
Um, no, but I played Magic.
Oh, fuck. In Hearthstone,
Magic
there's
is very similar. So, like, if you play Magic
yeah.
Arena, it's like Hearthstone, from what I understand.
Do they have
Uh,
like Divine Shield where it's like it can get hit but doesn't take damage only once?
there are effects in Magic that do that,
Hmm.
where it's
Okay,
like,
even without the effects, let's just
mhm,
say like you have a 5/5, right? You get a bunch of kills, it goes 9/5, but it can still die to another 5 card. Whereas if you do your camps, you can become a 7/7 for sure. And then they don't
oh, I see.
yeah, then they don't have a fucking card to deal with the 7/7, and you just wipe the board. Or
Yeah,
you take
there
more units and then your team wipes the board and you win. The more units you take
gotcha.
down with you on the board, that's how you have more impact. Diana,
Yeah,
Nocturne, Red Cane,
that's
I
like
guess.
Magic. Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Magic, you could be, you could be like a 4/3, and then you have a card that's like give +3/+3 to attacking creatures or something. Uh,
Let me
uh,
fucking download Magic right now. LS is gonna kick my ass. We're not
have
fucking.
you played Magic before?
No.
If you've played Hearthstone and you download Magic Arena is exactly like paper Magic, like over the table Magic. Um, it's yeah, it's pretty much identical to even so because it's online like an app or you can get it on your phone. It has to be timed, unlike playing tabletop Magic. So people will rope you in Magic sometimes, like they will in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Magic is basically Hearthstone, but with way more cards.
Was Magic the Gathering Arena,
Yep,
that
that's the one.
that's not its own, like, form? Or is it?
Nope, Magic: The Gathering Arena is like playing tabletop Magic.
I see. And then is there what's the fast one then?
Yeah.
Is that a different one? I guess I could
There
just
are
search this
no
shit.
there are no fast forms of Magic that I'm aware of. Like
Really? I
a lot of Magic games
thought
take
they
about like
would've
20 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes.
what the fuck? I'm queuing up for a league match on Magic? See, that's what I like about Hearthstone. I play an aggro deck, and that shit is done on turn
But
5.
I was gonna say, if you play a mono red aggro deck in Magic, you could be done in like in 5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
But if you're facing a control deck,
I insta
they'll
lose and I forfeit at 5 turn 5, so
yeah,
call it a day. I
yeah,
ought to put more time into those, but I won't. Someone's got to figure out this jungle shit. But yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so
exactly.
are you
So
fine with ending the session here? We didn't do the like standard here, but that's fine. We did more talking
sure,
than the VOD review into the live one.
that's fine. What would be okay? So somebody like me who's number one new to the game,
Hmm.
number two even newer to jungle, so I have like extremely limited knowledge. Uh, what should I like? What would be some actionable advice um, that I should take moving forward if I'm going to play like only? Okay, so if Nocturne gets banned, which he did twice, which is why I played Master Yi and Diana. If the opponent takes Nocturne or bans Nocturne, who's like a good second or third pick?
I would kind of prefer Kane to Master Yi because Master Yi is so like unique in what he does.
Okay,
So
I
your
guess I could learn how
options
to play Kane.
your options would be Kane, Briar. Briar's also fucking unique. I think she's easy, but I've played her to death.
And if my team is entirely AD,
That's fine. You build Black
okay,
Cleaver and get Last Whisper. So
uh,
it'd be like this, like Stride, Black Cleaver, um, some sort of fourth item, like a Death Dance, or maybe just another HP item like Stare Axe or something. And then your
mhm,
fourth item could be Shirelda's, which gives you that armor pin. If it's all AD, you do not like it does not matter. So long that you have
okay.
that Black
So like,
Cleaver.
I shouldn't pick Diana to try to have some AP in there.
Nope.
Okay,
Nocturne, Pain. They don't make these junglers easy. They hand you like it goes from like beginner to like like past
yeah,
intermediate just immediately.
yeah,
I mean, there's Vi as well. I think you would like Vi.
okay. I kind of know what she does.
She's well, damn. The problem with that compared to Kayn is that she's like J4 and Lee Sin. She engages. She starts the fight.
Oh yeah, like she
Yeah,
Q's in or R's in, right?
yeah, and then she's like more intermediate, and then that's more useful the higher you go too, because that CC becomes fucking game changing. Whereas you just need more
Oh
hits here. We just need to smack, smack, smack with Nocturne and call it a day.
yeah,
Same with fucking Diana. She slaps so hard right now. Right. So you play these three
yeah. She was
champs,
fun to play that game.
especially when you get ramped up. You play these three champs, and then like what I would do is, um, especially whenever I got into League, like I realized the only way I'm gonna learn this shit is like bashing my head against it, because no matter how much like I would try to fucking study it or whatnot, I just needed the experience, you know? So that's what you
Yep.
need. You need that experience. So the more normal games you play, that's better. How many games do you think you play a day?
Uh, I don't know, about 4 or 5. Some
Okay,
days I play more when I have like time. Like if I have a Saturday where I have nothing to do, I've like once played 15 games.
big. Okay. So then I would just do like 2 to 3 normals and then 2 ranked games.
per
And
day?
then, well, whatever works for you, as often as you
Okay.
could, as often as
So,
you want.
like the normals games to warm up?
No, you're doing these as if you like you're playing them focused. These aren't fun games. These aren't like
Oh,
these aren't like the silly ones.
like
Isn't
goof
what
off.
it's like.
Yeah.
It's like ramp it up, but like you get so many more opportunities in the normals to fuck it up, and it'll be fine, and the ball will keep rolling, and you'll see. Like I promise, you'll see more than I can articulate. Like this shit's the juice
Okay.
when we're starting
Yeah.
because there's nothing specific here. We're just getting as much general like experience that we can to then bring
Mhm.
that into the specific. And ranked is the specific, it's the solved, it's the known. Whereas normals
Okay.
is everything, it's the chaotic, the unknown. So we dip into there so that we can bring just the combination of all of that. And then, especially whenever you sleep, I'm sure you know this, like you WinRAR the experience. It's all
Yeah.
compressed, and then we go again.
I've never heard anybody say that.
And then your subconscious will then know more than you do once you have enough experience built up. And then
Mhm.
your hands and eyes will start outlining what to do. The same way like in COD, it outlines exactly how to kill that guy once we see the red dot on the map.
Yeah.
But in League there's more context, and that's why playing one thing fucking speeds up this whole process versus doing the world tour.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And this
So,
is where everyone fucking annoys me with coaching. They'll come back without doing the get the experience part, without doing their push-ups.
yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
That's with like any discipline, right? It's like you can't take 20 piano lessons without practicing and expect to be good on the piano. And if you've ever like learned or developed any skill or hobby or something, eventually over time you look back on all the years you've done something and you think nothing anybody could have told me my first year, whatever doing this would have made sense without having done it myself or
yep.
without having experienced it myself.
Yeah, I think about that a lot with coaching. And then it always comes back to like fundamentals of everything, which freaks me the fuck out. It's like the most important thing I would say would be like simple things. He had flash, you didn't have flash, you can't commit. And then we go again and go again. Those little
Yeah.
I guess with the normals too, that's those little things will compound more. That's what I
So
see when I play them.
i- if I can part with an unrelated question, I hear that the gap, this is something that like very difficult to quantify, but I hear that the gap between masters and challengers. So I have a lot of friends who are masters plus, they're masters, GM, and challenger.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember one time when I was playing ADC, my friend who's a masters player was playing Twitch. It was early in the split, and he was streaming it for me on Discord, and he's like, I'm actually kind of in the wrong elo here. I'm not sure if I could teach you anything because we're just gonna get stomped. And in my head, I'm like, how how is that possible that like between masters and challengers you recognize you're going to get stomped? uh because to me it seems like you're at that upper echelon. It can't be that big, but everyone keeps saying, oh yeah, the gap is as big as from like bronze to diamond or bronze to masters.
Okay.
um
Well, I think it's
is-
something like this. Like the game's balanced around like a 50 to like 54 to like 60% win rate thing. Um, there's like that study where like if they have these mice fight, and then if the bigger mouse doesn't let the smaller one win a certain amount of times, then they stop playing. So it's like the algorithm of the matchmaking is based on shit like that, where
oh,
they got to get
that
some
sounds like
wins. So
that sounds
then
like what people call engagement based matchmaking.
so then there's like this MMR range, which is let's say Master 0 to 300 LP, which Master 0 was Old Diamond 2, which is a dog shit zone because it was the promotion to D1 and Masters, which you get a higher amount of variance. You'll experience this from like Emerald like 3 to 1 once you get there, and then the D4 promotion, because there's just more chaotic ranges of MMRs where people get stuck. So then Master 0 to 300, you're in a chaotic zone. There's this applied to you, and you can be matched anywhere from like D2 all the way to Challenger within this zone. So, like, there's more variance. And then
I
once the
see.
teams are settled, then yeah, there is a like chance there's higher like degrees where you can just read that the game is probably going to be a loss or a win. But then that part also doesn't matter because it's out of our control. So then the only thing that instead to actually focus on would be your personal play because you can have the compounding interest of improving that game to game to game to game. And then eventually that will outcarry this shit so long that you go 51% win rate, you know? You'll eventually climb.
Uh, yeah.
But it can be this lane. I mean, I fucking hate this zone. It's where I easily get stuck. And then once we're like into 600 LP, blast right into 1,000. But that fucking zone.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And the games are easier. Everyone will tell you this. Fucking Challenger is easier than fuck. Challenger and Grandmaster way easier than
That's
Master tier to
that's
win.
what I've
Holy shit.
that's what I've been told, and that was mind-boggling to me, and I didn't understand how that was possible. Um, but that explanation actually makes it make sense.
Yep. And then it's just about the fucking individual play, really. Did I win my role? Who cares what happened? That's where you fucking
Got
get at the end game of League here. You either become stoic, zen, or pissed off all the time.
it. There's no middle ground.
Dude, the guys that say permanently tilted, the neurodivergent people, they don't have options because like they're fucking under like a control in a way, but like the fucking people
Yeah,
that choose to be pissed off, wow.
that's
Even under
yeah.
competitive guys, it's like you're fucking stupid. Like, because under the competitive guys, you can then apply it to the East and they don't get pissed off at the same things. You get pissed off of like what's in their control and when they mess up.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. God bless them though. Alrighty.
Well, I guess I'll get those push-ups in. Uh, so you would recommend like a handful of normals per day and then a handful of ranked games?
Yep. Especially where you're at.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay, makes
yeah.
sense.
Back in the day too, everyone played normals.
That's interesting.
Yep. That fucking fell off. Even I need to play more normals, so
Cool.
alrighty.
Well, I appreciate your time. Oh yeah, I'm curious to know what happens with with the Jeep.
Boy,
I
me
hope that
too.
gets resolved soon.
Fucking me. How much? Go ahead. How fucking much?
And
400? Christ. We'll see. But yeah,
yeah.
take it easy, man. Good luck in your
Alrighty, sir.
games, and I'll
Thanks
talk to you
again.
later.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. Beep, 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 beep.